Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. My name is Michael Macy, and I'm one of the founders of Enacting Peace. And Enacting Peace is a very simple concept. We invite people around the world to act for peace on the equinoxes and the solstices. We also produce a webcast, which is what you're watching now, but that's only one part of what we do. Throughout the day, around the world, there will be people acting for peace. And some of the things they do are very simple. They'll light a candle and put it in the window. We have dance companies that will be performing or having a rehearsal, keeping in mind their contribution to peace. We hope there'll be people baking and feeding people and cooking for peace. We do know that there will be a special interfaith religious service held on Capitol today as part of Enacting Peace, and their prayers for peace hopefully will reverberate not only on the Capitol grounds, but throughout the country and throughout the world. So I'm very grateful for all of you who have signed in, and also for all of those people who are acting for peace today consciously, because we believe that peace is essential. It's the foundation for all human endeavor. Trees exist because of peace. We're able to imagine that at the end of our day, we'll be able to go home, and our homes will be there, and our loved ones will be safe. So for the next hour and a half, we have a number of people who are contributing their views on peace, leading us in meditation for peace and prayers for peace. So first of all, I'd like to introduce David Less, who has been a teacher of meditation and peace builder for more than 40 years. And in reality, he has dedicated his life to the teaching of meditation, of peace, of awareness, and really inviting people to the experience of love, which underlies all that we are and everyone who we could be. So I don't really know of any other way to introduce him, so I will turn it over to David. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Elena. I just looked at the list of participants, the number, and there are 4 people. And at least on the Zoom call, I don't know who's on YouTube. And we're the 4 people. And I thought, in a way, this is really interesting because when the seed is really concentrated, it becomes quite strong. I know that more people will come, but I do know, as Michael said, people are doing things. And that's really, in this age when we live in front of a camera or on our phone, to know that there are people, and I do know that there are people dancing and praying and leading that service in front of the U.S. Capitol. I'm just so happy that we're able to be a part of this. And I want to do a short meditation, which I don't think any of you have done because I haven't shared it. But it is really about the steps that lead up to peace internally. And peace comes not when we have bigger and bigger peace groups, but when each one of us begins to take responsibility to bring peace into our own lives. And I think we're at that point where we really need to take responsibility. So this meditation, if you like it, can be helpful. If you don't like it, there are many more. It doesn't have to be this one or any particular one. Quite frankly, if you sit down for 10 minutes every day and just breathe in the word peace in and out. That's a great meditation. Or salam, or shalom, or shanti, or any other word you wish that conveys the message of peace to you. It's enough. So this is just a simple 15-minute meditation. And if you can't picture it as we do it, don't worry about it. It's not something you can fail at. I promise you can't fail. So just begin by feeling your breath. More importantly, becoming aware of your breath. Breath is not just physical. It's not just the air coming in and going out. Breath is energy, the very energy of life. And as we breathe in air, we're drawing to us the promise between each of us and the universe. This body will continue. Uh, this body will continue. Now, if you can, without doing anything, see if you can physically feel your heartbeat. It's not that difficult if you focus on it. And if you cannot, just put your hand on your carotid artery here, and you'll feel your pulse. Then when you feel it, take your hand away. We all know the heart is symbolized as the symbol of love. And many of us see emojis with the heart form because it touches something fundamental within each one of us. But today, we're going to begin by meditating with the physical heart. That's why I asked you to find your heartbeat. So I'm sure many of you know the heart has 4 chambers. So imagine your heart beating in the left breast, and imagine it's divided into 4 chambers, 4 sections. You don't have to be literal. You don't have to know the atrium, the ventricle. You don't have to do that. Just feel the heart pumping, blood throughout the body, and feel by your sense the 4 chambers. Upper left, lower right, upper right. So we're going to start with the chamber that is in the upper left. If your heart was a clock, this would be the section from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And this is the section of hope. And hope can be something really alive, not just, oh, I hope for peace. Hope can be the presence of faith, the awareness, whatever my mind thinks, I know there will be peace. I hope it's coming. And contrary to what the mind says, hope is the energy that can make the abstract concrete. We don't have to look at what peace will look like, even what it will taste like, what it will smell like. Just know that not only is it possible, it's certain. So really let yourself hope for peace. Hope with certainty. Now, keeping the connection with that part of the heart, go to the lower left. So again, if we use the clock example, between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And just feel that. And this is the quadrant of prayer. But it's not just, oh, God, give us peace. Prayer is the connection with our own soul, our own spirit. So we're not praying for peace. We're immersing ourselves in our own heart love. And in that ocean of love, we are reminding ourselves, reminding our soul, be at peace. Bring peace. Awaken peace. Feed peace. And it's gentle and it's subtle. We're immersed, bathing in the energy of prayer, with the focus in the heart of the prayer for peace. Now we gently move our consciousness and concentration to the lower right chamber of the heart, using the clock metaphor between 6 and 9. And just breathe there for a moment. And this is the chamber of light. Not light from a source, but the all-pervading light. Even in extreme darkness, it's just lesser light. And the mystics say the light of Christ was the black light. It's that light that shines in the darkness. And feel that light. And even as we seem to see chaos in the world, we know that this light, which is in every human being's heart, can bring peace. It's all pervading. It goes in every direction. It's inward and outward. We can make it be present in every breath. And finally, we go to the last quadrant, the one between 9 and 12, the upper right. And this is the quadrant of peace, the place in our heart that is the root of peace, the source of peace. And we're so tempted to want to have this peace in Ukraine, the Holy Land, in Sudan. But just for this moment, go to the place of pure peace. Really, peace has no opposite. War is not the opposite of peace. Chaos is not the opposite of peace. Peace exists in its oneness. It has no opposite. Feel the peace. Feel the peace. It has its own intelligence. And peace is patient. It's waiting. It hasn't lost its way. We have. So just for the last minute, walk with peace, sit with peace, breathe peace. It's not that peace is coming. Peace is here. But we've turned our backs to it. So may all beings be well. May all beings be happy. And may all beings experience and know peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much. Thank you, Enacting Peace, for putting this moment in the universe and in our world. Be well.
David, thank you very much. And Bjorn, thank you. Just thank you. Well, now I'd like to welcome Dr. Elena Muskitova, who is coming to us from Sofia in Bulgaria. She's a member of the Baha'i community and has spent a lifetime promoting wellness and participating as a professor, a writer, and a teacher of meditation and peace. Elena, please.
Thank you, friends, for this powerful moment. My deep, deep gratitude to David for leading us into such a deep meditative awareness of this eternal moment in which suffering, desperation, faith, hope, and peace are meeting in every corner of the globe. So as we continue this meditation, I would ask if you feel comfortable to put your hand on your heart and really connect with this beautiful place as David led us to experience and sink our awareness more deeply into it. And from this place in our hearts, this place of hope, this place of light, of prayer and peace, let us radiate love, compassion, and comfort to all the suffering souls around the world in this moment. Let this radiant love surround the children, the starving children of Gaza, all the suffering hearts and souls in the Middle East, the tormented people in Myanmar, the people suffering in Sudan and all over Africa. Let this radiant love surround and comfort all the suffering ones. And further, let this radiant love reach those hearts that have become hardened, that have closed themselves to the most fundamental human longing, the longing for peace. As David reminded us, sometimes a small but concentrated effort can reach very far, because we know we're living at a time of a vast consciousness shift on our planet. Humanity is awakening. Humanity knows and understands our interconnectedness. The way we feel the warmth of our hands on our heart space, this is the tangible, felt way in which humans now know our interconnectedness, our interdependence, and the need for a planet governed in ways that are truly and genuinely peaceful, humane, and just for all. This moment is coming because humanity is rising. And even though the forces of violence are right now far more apparent and evident, this collective field of consciousness that is connecting us all, that is sending flotillas of 50 ships from 44 countries to try to reach the children of Gaza, that is sending journalists in the most dangerous places around the planet to report, to shed light, to bring us truth and awareness. That force, that is the force of love and peace, is far greater than the forces of violence. It is the fundamental force of life. It is the ground of our being, and we are awakening to that. Sometimes very much through the dark light, the light that shines in the deepest darkness. So let us feel our hearts, and let us imagine and visualize the radiant circles of love expanding around our hearts, further and wider, across a ready and suffering planet. Let us focus our attention on that. And let us remember that every spiritual tradition in the history of human civilization has reminded humanity that sooner or later we will grow into peace. We have every reason to believe that that time is now. And in that spirit, I offer a prayer for humankind. If the words resonate for you, listen to the words and let them settle in your hearts. If they don't, Keep focusing on the radiating circles of love emanating from your heart, embracing suffering humanity, embracing a heated planet, embracing a world ready for change. The path of change is a path of unity and justice. And one thing I've learned through my years of trying to serve this path of transformation is there can be no true justice without unity, as there can also be no true unity without justice. So now humanity is ready to unite so it can do justice to all. And in that way, bring about inner and planetary peace. O thou kind Lord, thou hast created all humanity from the same stock. Thou hast decreed that all shall belong to the same household. In thy holy presence, they are all thy servants, and all humankind are sheltered beneath thy tabernacle. All have gathered together at thy table of bounty. All are illumined through the light of thy providence. O God, thou art kind to all. Thou hast provided for all, dost shelter all, conferrest life upon all. Thou hast endowed each and all with talents and faculties, and all are submerged in the ocean of thy mercy. O thou kind Lord, unite all. Let the religions agree and make the nations one, so that they may see each other as one family and the whole earth as one home. May they all live together in perfect harmony. O God, raise aloft the banner of the oneness of humanity. O God, establish the most great peace. Cement thou, O God, the hearts together. O thou kind God, gladden our hearts through the fragrance of thy love. Brighten our eyes through the light of thy guidance. Delight our ears with the melody of thy word, and shelter us all in the stronghold of thy providence. Thou art the mighty and the powerful. Thou art the forgiving, and thou art the one who overlooketh the shortcomings of all humankind. So powerful is the light of unity that it can illuminate the whole earth. May it be. Thank you.
Elena, thank you so much for an incredible message of peace and of hope and a vision of the future that's peaceful. And one of the things we're doing with Enacting Peace is to introduce people into traditions, teachings, and teachers. And if anyone resonates with any of the people who have spoken, we will put up their contact details on the Enacting Peace website. And Dr. Muskitova is the founder and president of the Integral Light Transdisciplinary Institute for Consciousness, Society, and Well-Being, which offers international courses on integral health for the 21st century. Elena, thank you really so much for the gift of your inspiration today and all that you do as a psychotherapist, as a teacher, and really as a human being. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Sister Maureen Goodman of the Brahma Kumari community. Sister Maureen is the program director for the Brahma Kumaris UK and the Brahma Kumaris representative at the United Nations. She works to make spirituality accessible to all people at all levels of society, looking at healthcare, education, and specifically reaching out to young people and to women. The Brahma Kumaris is a worldwide spiritual movement dedicated to personal transformation and renewal, and a very deep commitment to peace.
Om Shanti, a greeting of peace. September is the time of the equinox, and in the Western Hemisphere at least, it's the time of the transition from summer to autumn. And so yes, in the summer, everything is flourishing. There's beautiful growth and colour. And in the autumn, it's a time to be quiet, to go inside, and to nourish the self, ready for the new shoots of the spring. And so it is with our world. We are now at a point where it's so important to go inside and nourish the inner peace that we all have at the core of our being, so that a new flourishing growth can begin. So let us take a few moments to experience that inner state of peace. I go inside. I withdraw my thoughts from the external. I withdraw my thoughts from the past or the future, so that I have the freedom to go inside and connect with myself. The mind may have many waves of thoughts and emotions, but going inside, it's like diving deep into the ocean, beneath the surface, where there is stillness and peace. I am a being of peace. Peace is my original state of being. And because of that, that peace is strong. That peace is independent of external factors. This peace cannot be compromised by others' expectations. It truly is part of my being. I am a being of peace. And in a natural way, in this awareness, I connect with the source of peace, the source of love, the divine, the eternal source. And as I fill myself, peace naturally overflows into our world. Changing the atmosphere of fear and violence into an atmosphere of security and peace. And these are the seeds for the new growth of a flourishing world of peace that is soon to come. Om Shanti, I am peace.
Maureen, thank you so much. I really, this is, we don't, it, we haven't been at this very long today, and already I am deeply grateful for everyone who has contributed. Um, it's really been quite amazing. And again, for anyone who has felt deeply Sister Maureen's message, we will put up contact information for the Brahma Kumaris, which is a worldwide community dedicated to the development of spirituality and peace. I'd now like to interview Lady Mohini and noon, who will be in conversation with Pradeep Narang from the Aurobindo Society and Dr. Alok Pandey, who is a psychiatrist and spiritual teacher who's also known for his work with interval yoga, the teachings of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, and the author of Death, Dying, and Beyond. Mohini Kent-Noon is a peace activist who represents the Dalai Lama's community in the United Kingdom and is the founder of Lily, a nonprofit who is dedicated to the assistance of women and girls who are trafficked worldwide. I'll now turn it over to Mohini and her guests.
Hello and welcome on behalf of Enacting Peace to the Autumn Equinox Meditation 2025. The equinox is a time when the light and the dark are in balance, day and night. But the human world is out of balance. We are witnessing many conflicts, and the world beyond the human world is even more out of balance. At Enacting Peace, we attempt to bring peace and harmony by joining hands across the globe. But peace cannot be spread unless peace is in each individual heart. So what does it mean and how do we bring peace about in ourselves? To me, one of the things that I enjoy, which bring me peace, is to be able to walk in a beautiful park with all the attendant flowers and the butterflies and the ducks and the swans and the breeze. And I always walk alone because otherwise it's distracting to chat, and walking alone is walking mindfully. And as the Buddhists say, when you walk mindfully, even the trees are your sangha. So today, to discuss personal peace, I have two distinguished guests, Mr. Pradeep Narang and Dr. Alok Pandey. Pradeep Bhai is the chairman of the Sri Aurobindo Society, Pondicherry, and a lifelong spiritual practitioner. Dr. Alok Pandey is a psychiatrist, and he lectures very widely on spiritual matters, and he too is a lifelong spiritual practitioner. So I'm going to ask each of them to tell us what peace means to them personally. So, Alok Bhai, would you like to start?
Yes, peace was one of my first experiences walking on a crowded road in Patiala, and it was like a descent of, like a block of ice descending right from above, and everything moved far, far away. It disengaged me from the whole world, even while I was amidst it. To me, peace is the grace of the divine, the presence of the divine. There are two aspects. One is the divine presence, it brings peace. And the second is divine action, which brings ananda or joy. And both must go together. The world needs to discover its divine core to find peace and unity. Whatever else it does otherwise will be only temporarily effective. This divine core is in the heart. And to me, peace is connecting with the divine presence in the heart or with the divine presence which is above us. To me, peace is moving through crowds, even in battlefield, but deeply connected with the divine through constant inner remembrance. Peace is also freedom from desires. It is desires and ambitions that make us restless. And when we are freed from desire through the practice of Nishkam Karma, through the practice of equanimity, our whole system is flooded with peace. It becomes a natural state. Peace is also being aligned with the divine will in all that we do and all that we are. And peace finally is finding rest at the feet of the Divine Mother.
As Alok Bhai has mentioned. And it is also an aspiration that rises from below, which comes from the person like me who feels the God's presence here in the middle of the heart. And the closer we get to the middle of the heart, well, this is the evolving soul, the individual soul. The closer we get to it, the closer we are getting to the universal soul. And what is wonderful about getting close to your own soul is when you get close to all the souls around you, because it's the same material, it's the same element which is there in your heart, which is in all the souls, which are a part of the universal soul. So peace is something should be there all the time. Equanimity, it must be there all the time. Because if it is not there, then you get disturbed when you actually need peace. So if there's a problem that you have, or there's a family crisis, or something or the other, you tend to get very disturbed. But that is the time when you need the peace. So that is peace in action has to be there. And to get peace in action, you have to have peace and equanimity, So it's all, and ultimately when you do get peace, then you ask the Lord, and this Lord, that I do feel your presence and I do feel the peace. No, what do I do with it? How do I implement it? How do I spread it? Thank you.
That's lovely. It's true, because enacting peace, we are about spreading peace, because we are talking about peace in action and how to have acts of peace. But Alok Bhai, I want to ask you, when you talked about, you had a descent of peace. Not everybody has it so easily or readily or whatever. But how is peace related to self-knowledge and knowing oneself?
Peace is the foundation on which self-knowledge develops. We have the image of Shiva lying below Kali's feet. So it is peace which can sustain and bear the tremendous dance of creation. So it's the first thing which is needed. One of these simple practices is to learn to step back. When we are about to speak, when we are about to act, when we are about to engage in any activity, to just step back for a moment and see what is really important. And we'll see that most of the things in which our mind and vital and heart gets really deeply involved, which disturb us, are really of very, very little, I would almost say no importance from the permanent point of view. So the more we focus on the eternal and the less on the transient things, temporary things, the less we are attached to things that are going to pass away, and more to the permanent core, the more we will be peaceful. And then finally, to surrender ourselves completely, entirely, with total trust and confidence in the divine grace.
And also, and I pray to her that I should say what is right according to her, what is the truth according to her, and only that should come out of my mouth and in my action, etc. Something that happened to me, it's a personal experience. I was in Sri Aurobindo's room on my birthday. This was way back, and I saw my entire life, not whiz past, but slowly, scene by scene by scene by scene, it passed by. But these were all incidents which were of some importance. Not that I had a bath or had my lunch, but these were some importance, and I could tell that these are the things that had touched me. And that was just a fleeting 2 minutes, maybe just 2 minutes. And after that, what happened was as if it seemed as if I was a little empty, and it's just gone out, And what really mattered was the experience that I had at those moments, which were visible to me. And I think that is results from peace And we try and here in Pondicherry, especially devotees of Sri Aurobindo, the mother, is to read a lot. And that's the core of Alok Bhai also. Because he reads, and he reads, not only read, he remembers everything. So I do read. And mother says that if you're disturbed, if peace is eluding you, read Savitri, and you'll find that wherever you're derailed, you'll come back on the rails. Thank you.
Well, this has been very meaningful. Both of you have given a lot of practices, how to bring peace, how to practice peace. And on behalf of Enacting Peace, I thank you. I'm Mohini Kent Noon. Thank you very much.
Mohini, thank you very much for taking the time and for bringing together real practitioners of peace and introducing us to their viewpoint and their perspective on what peace means to them. And again, we'll be posting links to the Sri Aurobindo Society and to Lily, the charity that Mohini has created and continues to support. I'd now like to introduce a good friend of the Abrahamic Reunion and of an Enacting Peace, Rabbi Leora Ezrachi-Vered. Rabbi Leora is a Reform rabbi and the director of the Spirit of Galilee. The Spirit of Galilee is an initiative that brings together Jews, Christians, Muslims, Druze, and Baha'i for mutual understanding and cooperation. So as our last contributors were from India, Rabbi Leora comes to us from Israel on the eve of the Jewish New Year.
Hello to all who are here to pray for peace in the world on this Solstice Day. I am Rabbi Leora Ezrachi-Vered. I live in the Galilee in the Jezreel Valley. And I'm standing now in Bet Sharim, an ancient town where Jews lived hundreds of years ago, praying, hoping, wishing for better days, days where human dignities are considered, days when we can all live safely under our vine and fig tree. I want to wish us all peace and love and strength to fight for peace and love, to be able to work together for a better world for everyone.
Leora, thank you so much. I realize that you're very busy right now as you approach the new year and as it begins, but I also know from having worked with you personally that you are constantly working for peace as a rabbi, as a wife, as a mother, as a teacher. You're really one of my heroes, and it was a great pleasure to meet with you in Nazareth. And again, I can't thank you enough for taking the time and sharing your message of peace with us here on the Equinox at Enacting Peace. I would now like to introduce our next participant, Lauren Lamore, who is the co-founder of Millions Meditating Alliance. Now, Millions Meditating is a new organization that was created to inspire 1 million people to meditate on December 21st, the UN International Day of Meditation. So Lauren is busily combing the world inviting people and organizations so that there are 1 million people meditating on December 21st. Lauren is also the co-founder and CEO of Holistic Life Coaching, and she works with people so that they achieve their personal and professional goals. And she applies a unique blend of business, spiritual, psychological, and practical skills, and has aided thousands of people to develop a deeper understanding of who they are, an appreciation of their gifts, and the ability to apply them. Lauren, thanks very much.
Hi everyone, this is Lauren Lamore, co-founder of the Millions Meditating Alliance. Thanks so much for inviting me to be here with you today to talk a little bit about what peace means to me. For me, peace resides in simple spaces and quiet places, in kindness and nature and stillness. It lives in the kind acts between people who embody respect, reverence, and appreciation. A thoughtful word, a conscious deed, a gentle gesture that uplifts another, in a world that sometimes forgets the importance of these simple but profound ways. It is found in a door held, a smile given freely, a hand extended in unconditional friendship, offered not for reciprocity, but simply for the connection and love of one human being to another. I find peace in the hush of the trees at dawn, deep in the woods, and in the breath of the ocean just before the sun slips below the horizon. In those moments of still connection, I feel the quiet pulse of all sentient beings as one. For me, peace also resides in that space beyond words, in the silence after the last note of music, before the next song begins, in the tender minutes before the birds awaken, in the soft vibration after the final Om is chanted. Most of all, peace for me is the quiet stillness I have discovered in meditation, a sacred chamber I may return to again and again, especially when the world grows too loud, chaotic, or uncertain. I am grateful that meditation has given me this inner refuge. And when I am fortunate, I can hold this feeling throughout the day and share it with whomever I meet, neighbors, friends, family, or strangers, offering my gift of inner peace as a blessing. For a gift not shared is a gift unfulfilled. And so I share a bit of peace with you here today and invite you to join me in a deep breath and an Om. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace. Thank you very much.
Lauren, thank you very much for both the words and the images. and the heart behind them. And again, for those of you interested, we will be posting contact details for Millions Meditating, and we hope that you will join in December so that there will be more than 1 million people consciously meditating together. I'd now like to introduce Steve Farrell. Steve is the founder and worldwide executive director of Humanity's Team. Humanity's Team grew out of Steve's vision of the oneness of all existence. And he created Humanity's Team to really help people awaken to their deeper self and the interconnectedness of everything in the universe. He really has dedicated his life and resources to helping people across the globe connect more deeply with the divine truth of oneness and consciously participate in the creation of a flourishing and awakened world.
Hello, my dear friends. I'm Steve Farrell, co-founder and executive director of Humanity's Team. As we come together in this sacred moment of enacting peace, I'd like to share from my heart what peace means to me. Peace at its deepest level is not just the absence of conflict. It is the presence of something so much greater. Peace is the felt experience of oneness, the awareness that we are all expressions of the same divine source, interconnected with one another, with the earth, and with the whole of life. When I think of peace, I think of harmony. I think of stillness that arises when we drop out of fear and separation into love and wholeness. Peace is when we no longer see each other as you and me, but as we, a divinely imbued body, inclusive of all life. It is the space where compassion, kindness, and forgiveness naturally flow, because we remember that every being is sacred. For me, peace is also active. It's not passive, where we simply withdraw from the world. Peace asks us to show up consciously, to embody love in our words, our choices, and our actions. It invites us to be bridge builders in our families, our communities, and even in the global community, choosing understanding over judgment, connection over division, and cooperation over control. When we embody peace within ourselves, we become a living demonstration of what's possible. That inner harmony radiates outward, influencing the people we touch, the communities we live in, and even the systems that govern our world. This is why I often say, if we want peace on earth, it begins with peace in our own hearts. So today, as we enter into this meditation, I invite us all to gently lay down any burdens of fear, of anger, or separation. Let us breathe into the deeper truth of who we are, whole, connected, and already at peace. From this place, may we send ripples of peace outward knowing that each of us has the power to enact peace in the world right now, beginning in this very moment. Thank you for joining me in this sacred intention. Together, let us create a world where peace is not just an aspiration, but the lived reality for all.
Steve, thank you very much. I really appreciate you taking the time to send us that message and to invite people to explore the work of Humanities Team. And again, I really can't begin to thank everybody who has contributed and participated in this Equinox webcast to promote peace on behalf of Enacting Peace. I'd also like to thank all of those people who are acting for peace today around the world. I know that there are yoga classes in San Pedro Island, Texas, dancers in San Francisco, California, the Organization of Interfaith Scotland up in the northern part of the United Kingdom. Not exactly sure what Interfaith Scotland's doing, but possibly throwing the caber with the thought of peace or cooking a haggis. Again, there is no end to the variety of activities that people can do for peace. And it really is important. Peace is not the result of the actions of politicians or influencers or power brokers. Peace is really the result of the intention and the activities of each one of us. And together, we create peace. Peace is the natural state. For most of us, we're blessed with a sense of peace and the expectation that our days will begin peacefully and that the sun will set at the end of a peaceful day and we will have a peaceful rest at night. So around the world, there are millions of people who live in peace, often without being conscious of it. What we hope to do in Enacting Peace is invite people to become aware of the peace within which they live and to celebrate that peace and to continue to act consciously with peace. So I would like to invite all of you to think ahead to December 21st, to the solstice, the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere and the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, and think of some creative way to act for peace. And we'll continue to post ideas, recipes, and also stories from those people who have acted for peace on the equinoxes and the solstices. So again, I very much would like to thank everybody who has participated, and we hope to be able to end with a message from Sheikh Ghassan Manasra, who will be our last contributor. Sheikh Ghassan is again someone who has dedicated his life to peace. He comes from generations of peacemakers. He has taught all over the world, but his real focus is with the Abrahamic Reunion, which works for peace in Israel and Palestine. The Abrahamic Reunion brings people together. The cross-community divides. They work with Jewish, Druze, Muslims, Christians, Samaritans to help develop a conscious commitment to peace in Israel and Palestine. There are no politics. There is the core belief that if people are brought together, they will find a peaceful way to create a world that is welcoming and supportive of everyone. So now I'd like to just show a brief video of the work of the Abrahamic Reunion, and then we'll conclude with words from Sheikh Ghassan, who is also the global head of the Tariqat al-Salam Qadiri Sufi order worldwide. Thank you.
Love.
حب. تكفى. أمل.
سلام.
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 On March 18th, 2025, with the Holy Land engulfed in violence, 260 Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Druze, and Samaritan leaders and peace builders from across Israel and the West Bank courageously joined the Abrahamic Reunion's 19th annual multi-faith iftar dinner, a night of connection, prayer, dialogue, inspiration, and renewed hope for peace.
Tonight I could see little openings in people's feelings, and that made it worthwhile.
זה ממש מרגש. זה דבר בעיניי יוצא דופן, שבכאוס כזה, אנשים מכל הדתות מגיעים לכאן.
These kinds of events are what make life worth living.
احنا مرات بنستهين في الشغلات البسيطة، لكن مرات شغلات بسيطة بتدعم أشياء كبيرة.
الجسور هاي احنا بانيينها، ولكن احنا بندعم هذه الجسور بهاي اللقاءات.
السلام מומכן לללי בבחث عنه, السلام מומכן לללי בده السلام.
צריכים לדעת גם לבוא, גם בזמנים כאלה, לבוא ביחד, דווקא מפני שאנחנו במלחמה.
אני מאמינה ששלום חייב להיות אפשרי, כי האלטרנטיבה היא כל כך גרועה.
If we will not do our responsibility for this world, we will do it.
There's more to the world than just what we see. And if we put out good energy and good thought, something good will happen. Maybe not right away, maybe not in my lifetime, but in my children and grandchildren.
مسيرتنا ستكتمل وبدناش نوقف مهما كانت التحديات.
ممكن الطريق صعب شوي ولكن أبداً ما نستسلم.
It gives me strength for the entire year to go forward as a peacemaker, even when the entire world is telling me that it cannot be done.
It's the same message. We're very connected. We have to see how connected we really are.
So this is one example of the kind of activities that are occurring all over the world for the creation of peace. I know at times it's hard to find hope in the midst of the violence that we read about or hear about every day on the news. But it's important to be in touch with the peacemakers. It's important to be aware of what they do, and that they continue to work every day joyfully for peace. So now I'd like to introduce Sheikh Ghassan Manasra, a true peace builder, and ask him to talk about what peace means to him and any other messages he would have us about peace. Ghassan.
Thank you so much, Brother Michael. Hello, all. It's great to be with you today and to talk about the real meaning for me about peace. Peace, it's kind of process, kind of natural process of the human being. It's the way that we are walking and or flying to it and to achieve more understanding in this world. It's not kind of titles or misunderstanding. In the end, we'll say, okay, we will reconciliate and make peace. No, the peace is a very natural things within us. The peace is to go to connect, the real connection from the human side of you as a human being. And it's for to know more and more your nature as a human being, and to know the people and what they need to create a great society, to create a great family and complete family in this world, to understand that we are one kind with a different thinking, with a different traditions, with different languages, with different tongues, with different faiths. But in the end, we still under the same tent as a human being. Peace is to work toward all of the people all around the world. Peace is to find yourself with all of the people, with everyone passing to you, connecting to you, friend of you, working with, or you just see. I think this is the big umbrella of us as a human being, to be peacefully and to be a human being, real human being. And for to get to be peacemaker or to create peace in this world, you need to activate your great values as a human being, to be honest, to be straight, to be clear, and try to be the mirror of all of the people all around you, to allow them to see you and as their selves, and to see yourself as them, to feel the pain, the fear, and the hard things they are feeling. This is the most important thing about peace.
Ghassan, thank you so much. I know it's not always easy to find even a few minutes, and so I'm very grateful that you were able to share with us your thoughts for peace.
Thank you.
So to everyone, thank you so much for participating in this webcast for peace. Please tell your friends about us, encourage them to reserve time on the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere on December 21st. Not necessarily to watch our webcasts, though they're always welcome to do that, but to act for peace, to consciously do something for peace, celebrate peace, recognize peace, and be grateful for peace. Thank you very much, and have a peaceful next 3 months. Be well.